Peace Collective. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Milan. I am an intuitive tarot reader and psychic medium. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome. If you guys are returning, welcome back. It means the world to me each and every single time you guys join. Thank you guys times 1,000 for being here and for deciding to spend your time and your energy here with me in these readings. As you guys know, this is going to be another general collective reading. However, we're going to get into another deep dive today. As you guys can tell by the title, we're going to look into the current energy around Tory Lanez at this time. If you guys are ever interested in readings that look more into celebrity culture, music, the entertainment industry, I've got an entire playlist already curated. It's called the Deep Dive series, and that's where you guys can find more readings just like this one. If you guys are ever interested in live streams, love readings, collective general readings, I do offer them on this channel. I offer personal readings. All the information for a personal is going to be in the description box down below, like always. Just as a quick disclaimer, you guys, this channel is not a fan page. It's not a stand page or anything of the sort, okay? So everything in this reading is alleged until proven otherwise and for entertainment purposes only, okay? If you guys resonate with the message here, you like the vibes here on the channel, definitely leave a like on the video. It's absolutely free. Share if you care. I love interacting with you guys, so please feel free to leave a comment, okay? If you guys don't have anything nice to say or anything constructive to add to the conversation, you don't like the subject matter that we're talking about today, all I ask is that you keep it respectful with me and with others in the comments, or just click off the video, okay? If you don't like what's being said, you don't like the subject matter, it is no big deal to just click off the video. That's also free, okay? But yeah, as you guys again can tell by the title, we're gonna look into Tory Lanez. If you guys have been following this situation regarding Tory, Megan, Kelsey, the trial for this shooting that occurred back in 2020, it's been a very, very long journey. And if you guys are aware, Tory Lanez, he did have an appellate court hearing about 3 months ago, in about November. I believe they give the appellate court 90 days to come back with a decision. And we are, at the time of this recording at least, we are, mere days, if not like mere hours, outside of the decision from the appellate court. So very, very exciting. And I was getting this energy from Pop Smoke about Shake the Room. I haven't listened to Pop Smoke in I don't know how long, but I feel like when this news hits the internet, it's going to be one of those like shake the room moments, okay? And if you guys are supporters of Tory, even if you're not a supporter of Tory, you're more of a supporter of Megan and you're here, that's totally fine, okay? Shout out to either one of you guys. As you know, this has been a very overdrawn out, very long journey, and regardless of what happens, I feel personally very good about it, but regardless of what happens, it's finally time for this karmic cycle to wrap up, and I'm so happy about that. This has been a very long time coming. If you guys have been following the case, following the trial, following just everything that has come after the verdict has come out, so it's been a very rocky ride, so I'm just so grateful to have been part of this journey. If you guys are familiar with my channel, I've been tapping into this energy for the last maybe 2, almost 3 years now. So it's just nice to have a full circle moment, a culmination of all of these things kind of finally wrapping up. And I appreciate you guys so much for all of your support and love, whether it be on Tory or readings on any other celebrities, Nicki, Megan, Beyonce, Jay-Z, whoever. You guys are so amazing, and I appreciate you guys for supporting this channel and for being part of this journey along with me. So if somebody wants to timestamp the reading, you are more than welcome to. Thank you ahead of time. We're going to use a King of Wands to represent Tory, being that he is a Leo. Okay, we're going to start with a couple of oracle cards first, and then we'll dive into the tarot a little bit later to clarify, okay? And something I want to highlight really quickly as well, you guys, the planet Jupiter, which can talk about good fortune, good luck, expansion, spiritual knowledge, higher education, philosophy, kind of seeing the bigger picture. But whatever Jupiter touches, it expands and it highlights. So Jupiter is moving into the sign of Leo next year in 2026. So this should be a very auspicious year for someone with a Leo placement as strong as Tory does, or any of you guys who have strong Leo placements. You can expect a very auspicious year next year, okay? Depending where Leo lands in your chart. But let's get right into this. All right, let's see. Let's get some clear and concise messages regarding Tory at this time. Please and thank you. And please keep in mind, tarot and oracle reading is very time fluid. So I'm channeling current energy, yes, but certain things may show up that haven't necessarily occurred yet, or things that have already occurred in the past, which are influencing the energy currently at this time, okay? Oh, wow, you got feminine energy showing up first. Okay, it says gentleness, nurturing, and mothering. It's like a pregnant woman on this card. You know, Tory does have has a young son. Okay, so with this feminine energy, I want to clarify this. Why is this here, please? He could be in the energy of maybe just feeling very good or feeling very excited. It's almost kind of the energy of like the Empress birthing something new. Okay, someone who is in a situation like him, okay, being in prison for the last few years for something that you're claiming you didn't do. As you guys know, he was stabbed multiple times a few months ago as well and was transferred to another facility. For someone to be showing up in feminine energy, you know, it's almost like you wouldn't expect that from somebody in his situation, right? But let's see. Let's continue. I do feel like, too, I get this vibe a lot from him. From other inmates that he's around, he has a very helpful, nurturing, positive, uplifting type of vibe about him. And a lot of people admire and respect that. Okay? I feel like he's been helping. He helps out a lot of people that he's been incarcerated with in one way, shape, or form. Okay, why is this here, please? Yes, and men and women both have feminine and masculine energy, okay? So yeah, look, hopeful is showing up, inspired, optimistic, and success. So didn't I just say how someone in his particular situation, you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be hopeful, right? Or you wouldn't expect him to be so positive. But he's got a very, first of all, God-fearing is how it's coming through, a very God-fearing demeanor about himself. And he's just a naturally like optimistic person. Like I'm literally visualizing the sun card from the tarot in my third eye right now. But yeah, he's feeling very optimistic. Success is on his mind is what it's looking like, okay? And it's kind of giving, you know, feeling very hopeful or inspired to have a new beginning. Again, the Empress energy. Empress energy doesn't always have to be literally like birthing a child, but it could be birthing a new project, a new version of yourself. The highest version of yourself, right? Empress mode. But let's see, get a couple more of these. Why is this here, please? Aquarius this time. Cutting ties. Oh wow. The card literally says freedom. Okay. You guys can see that, right? I'm not just making this up. Can we see that? I know it's backwards in the camera, but it says freedom, all right? Standing up and awaken. I always find this kind of weird about this card, though. It looks like there's some type of BDSM, like S&M mask over her face. I don't really get what that has to do with anything, but anyway, cutting ties. So that's interesting. He has a lot he wants to say. He has and I'm getting the vibe of, okay, I'm hearing gag order. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was placed under a gag order very, very early on, like years ago when this first kind of happened. Maybe back in like 2021, 2022, he was under a gag order. And I'm kind of getting that like with this girl's with the bag over her head, but I feel like he just can't wait to like say what he has to say or stand up against, I'm hearing the word tyrants, standing up against tyrants, maybe in the industry, okay? Now, of course, I know I'm going to get those one or two comments and be like, well, if he wanted to speak up so bad, why didn't he get on the stand? I feel like if you do a simple Google search, or if you've known anybody who's been incarcerated, you've had maybe your own criminal history, whatever, 9 times out of 10, if you are on the defense of a criminal case, even you're not Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, I feel like 9 times out of 10, a defense attorney is not gonna put their client on the stand because they're gonna get picked apart. And again, I heard a gag order, so I think maybe that's part of the reason why he couldn't get up there and say what he needed to say, because he would have been in violation of the gag order. Okay, but he has a lot he wants to say. And it's giving like there's a purpose. He feels like there's a purpose to this. Okay, why is it here, please? Why is it here? Oh, okay, yeah, vacay. Yeah, get away, relax, and have fun. This is like, it's almost kind of weird to even read this because it's almost counterintuitive, again, based on the situation that he's in right now. Like a vacation. What do you mean having fun, relax? What do you mean you're inspired and optimistic for success? Aren't you supposed to be in prison for the next 7 years, you know? So, yeah, that says a lot. It's kind of almost looks like people kind of just sailing and riding off into the sunset here. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think he lives in like Florida. I know he's from Canada, but I think he lives in Florida. I think he just, can't wait to get back into like the warm sun, warm weather again, just enjoying nature even. He could be looking forward to doing those things as well. Kind of like almost hugging a tree or putting your feet in some grass, especially if it's been a few years. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a couple more of these, please. Get away, relax, have fun. Okay, I don't think I hate to say, this doesn't feel like somebody who's very worried or concerned at all. Okay, why is it here, please? Ooh. Recharge. Yeah, look, breathe, let go, and clear your mind. So I will say though, this experience is kind of coming through again. I mentioned before as there was a bigger, a larger purpose to this situation that occurred. This also, it literally wasn't a vacation, but it was a way for him to kind of sit down and kind of regroup and reset in a way, because he was out here, like MGK, like a wild boy. I'm not even gonna lie, okay? Out here in that Knight of Wands energy, kind of getting around, hot boy summer. So I think now it's unfortunate that a situation like that is what it took to kind of sit him down, right? But some people, unfortunately, are a little hard-headed and they need shit like that, God really works in very mysterious ways. So it's like, listen, if you're not paying attention to the signs and symbols, or you're not listening to the directive that the universe is giving you, well, I'm gonna have to sit you down for a minute, so it's kind of giving that he's had a lot of time to regroup, recharge, and kind of again like reset his mind frame a little bit, which has been very helpful. Boundaries. Okay, I'm gonna get one more of these and we're gonna hop into a different deck, you guys. Okay, why is it here, please? Oh, and you have salty. Okay, and then you have masculine energy showing up as well. Okay, it says bitter, angry, and petty. Okay, why is this here? A little more on this. And I mean, I can imagine. I'm like, why wouldn't you be upset, angry, maybe even a little bit bitter, after spending all of this time, who's going through probably millions of dollars of legal fees and whatnot, for again a situation that, on Tory's defense, doing all this time and spending all this money for something that again he's claiming he didn't do. Yeah, I'd probably be salty or bitter or angry or petty. Imagine something, for example, because I can't think of anything else right this minute, but Central Park 5, right? Like, I'm sure they're very grateful and appreciative that they were exonerated, but all those years spent locked up for something you didn't do, just for the public to then come around and be like, oh, they actually really didn't do it years later. I'm sorry, I'd be mad as fuck too. Like, what? Why wouldn't you be? So I get it. Yeah, then you have trapped here, stuck, no options, and unforgiveness. Yeah. So and it's unfortunate because, again, to go back to what I just said about like the media and things like that, social media kind of crucified him, he could feel like, before things even got to trial. And even to this day, they're still crucifying him. Yeah, so being in this trap situation and not really having a whole lot of options, yeah, you know, I could see why someone may feel upset or a little bit bitter, you know? Yeah. Well, we can hop out of this deck, you guys. Let's get into another one. Let's see. This is more of like a work, lifestyle, and career type of deck that I'm going to use. So let's see what else is going on, please. Is this making any sense to you guys? Definitely leave a like on the video. It's absolutely free to do so. Share if you care. Let's see. Why is this here, please? Tory at this time. Ooh, yeah, flexibility showing up. Okay. So it says adapt slowly by using versatility, compromise, adaptation, and change. Be flexible in your methods. So with this, I feel like, you know, I don't want to say he's literally starting from the ground up, because if you guys, you know, follow him or listen to his music or anything like that, then you know he hasn't really stopped. He put out the Peterson album earlier this year. And he drops, I believe, like singles or 2 or 3 singles like every Friday or something to that extent. So I feel like when he gets out, he's going to have to, again, be a little bit more flexible. Not starting from the ground up necessarily, from ground zero, but, you know, he's going to have to be flexible in his methods. Okay, and be versatile, you know. Be open to multiple different ways of doing things. Okay, why is this here, please? And I think he's just very multi-talented as well, is what I'm getting with this. Someone who can do a lot of different things or make all different sorts of money doing multiple different things. Okay, why is it here, please? Okay, what is this? Social status? Wow, okay. It says you will reach the heights of fame in society. Don't get arrogant. And to be fair, I think, you know, and I'm not here to like point fingers or anything like that, but, you know, I'm going to keep it real no matter who we're talking about. I do think that a little bit of arrogance, and again, that hot boy summer energy, kind of just let it all hang out with not a whole lot of boundaries, is exactly why he's in the situation that he's in. And he's already, you know, rich and very popular, famous, right? Again, with kind of like that divine feminine energy, almost kind of looks like an empress of some sort. Okay, but again, I'm channeling current energy, so this is, yeah, I feel like whatever he has to say or that he's gonna say, it's gonna reach a very large platform. Or again, a lot of eyes are on this situation right now. Okay, let's see, why is it here, please? Don't get arrogant. Why is it here, please? Okay, wrong decision is showing up. Okay, yeah, and that's what I just said. It's like the arrogance and the way that he was living his life at the time is why he's in this situation right now, in a way. Of course, you know, you had 2 habitually lying, cackling hens is another reason why, but you get what I'm saying, guys. Certain wrong choices, or choices that, you know, like maybe I shouldn't have stayed this long, or maybe I just, you know, I should have stayed at the house. I shouldn't have even left with this girl. Shit like that, you know, he could think about a lot. What could I or should I have done differently? It says reckless behavior can lead to bad consequences. Yep, think before you act. So obviously, you know, there were some not so great choices made by all parties that night, and it's kind of coming to like being accountable. But the thing is, though, I'm not going to be accountable for something that I didn't do. That's what I'm not gonna do. It's kind of how it's coming through, you know. Like, yes, I can be accountable for what I did this, for when I did that, or what I said here, but I'm not going to let the internet, social media, whoever put something on me that I didn't do. And again, what he's claiming that he didn't do, you guys. So, yeah. Let's see. Why is it here, please? Why is it here, please? And I also feel like he has to move very carefully, like where he's at, like whatever facility he's in. You know, when you got an appeal going on, you've probably got people that are either your cellmates or people you eat with every day. They probably in there for the next 20, 30 years. Meanwhile, you are in the middle of a very public appeal. It's like you got to be careful how you move when you're in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm getting from him as well in like these final moments. Okay, why is it here, please? Ooh, many choices. Okay. It says opportunities abound when you are in a dilemma. All roads lead to Rome. Look at all your options. And I think I've said this before in a reading that I did with Tory. Like, I don't know how long ago it was, but I feel like he's going to end up having like a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different people kind of reaching out or coming toward him, either maybe to speak, do an interview, make music, produce music for them, whatever this is, that he's going to have a lot of choices or a lot of options. And I think he's going to be, again, like a lot more strategic or a lot more particular about the options or decisions that he makes with this wrong decision card and many choices, you know. I feel like he could have been a much more impulsive person before compared to what he is now, you know. Let me have more on this, please. Yeah, look at all your options. Hey, why is it here? Oh, wow, then you have a new beginning. That was probably one of the very first cards about the feminine energy, Empress energy, having a new start. Okay, it says you will start a new job in life. Clean sweep. Hit the reset button. So again, I feel like it's not so much him having to start literally from ground zero, because he has been putting out work since he's been incarcerated. So again, and he's already had a loyal fan base before any of this. So he wasn't just some Joe Schmo off the corner, you know, when this situation first occurred. But he is going to have to kind of start over in a way, or start fresh, you know, or again, just do things differently. It's like kind of having a new lease on life all around the board, not just musically and creatively. So this time, what has really allowed him to kind of hit the reset button, if you will, okay? Or that's what he's going to do. He's excited. Again, one of the first cards I had was hopeful and optimistic, okay? Relax, have fun. Let's see. I don't know if I want to get that, though. Yeah, I'm going to use this one instead. We're going to use another oracle deck really quick. This is the Panther Oracle, you guys. Let's see. Let's clarify a couple of these. Then we're going to get to the tarot after this. I'm going to try my best not to keep this too long, okay? Let's see. Why is this here, please? Tory at this time. Energy for Tory at this time, please and thank you. Again, I see him being very flexible, like a lot of different people, a lot of different arms, a lot of different avenues kind of reaching out to him. And he's, you know, he can't spread himself too thin, especially fresh out. But, you know, it's like he's ready to hit the ground running, I feel like. Kind of. Why is it here, please? Okay, what is this? Commitment. Okay, the number 34 is showing up. I think he's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, his birthday is like in July, so Leo season. I think he's going to be 34, maybe 33 years old. This is his next birthday. But it says commitment, okay, binding, obstruction, and contract. And it looks like somebody is struggling to get through something. So this has been a fight. This has been a journey. This has been like a struggle, for sure. Okay, and again, with all these opportunities and options, it even says binding in a contract. So he could have an opportunity to do a deal or get multiple offers for a deal. Obviously, you know, he's independent, so I don't see him going back to like a record deal necessarily with a label. But, you know, say for example, like a contract to do an exclusive interview. I see multiple opportunities for that. Maybe not so much like brand deals and stuff, but you get what I'm saying. Like opportunities to come and speak your piece. Okay, why is this here, please? Obstruction and binding. When something is obstruction, that means something is in your way. Okay, why is this here, please? Collaboration. Okay, so the number 45, so it looks like a team of people working in the background, backup, unity, and enhancement. Yeah, and again, you got a lot of eyes, a lot of people watching this. A lot of people, there's only 4 people in this picture, but you know, there's multiple people with eyes on this, kind of just waiting to see what's going to happen behind the scenes and, you know, publicly, like you and me and everybody else. But there's people like in offices, like I just heard executives, like people, big wigs is kind of how it's coming through, that are diligently, patiently waiting and watching this, just like, again, you, me, and Dupree are. So, and this can also talk about the team he has behind him working on his behalf, like, you know, his lawyers, or maybe Unite the People. Over the maybe like the last few months, the last year or so, the MAGA people have been pretty vocal about this situation as well. So he's got a strong team behind him. I will say that. Backup, unity, and enhancement, and a lot of people that believe in him. And whoever, and again, these people, like the network behind him, you know, kind of help push this story more on the forefront than it already was with this social status. So yeah, it's like on different eyes now. It's not just the urban community seeing this. It's on a different, complete different set of eyes as well. Completely different set of audience is watching this as well now. Okay, why is this here, please? Oh, yeah, fury showing up. Yeah, offense, madness, and unpleasant. The number 74. Yeah, and I feel like sometimes he could like get frustrated or upset with himself, again, for the part that he played in certain things, you know, or again, maybe just upset and frustrated at the situation or the people involved. Okay, this you guys remember that reporter, Megan Cuniff? Does this not look like her, you guys? If you guys are familiar with it, who Megan Cuniff, I call her Megan Catnip, but this dead ass looks like her. She's gonna be tight. She's gonna be tight. Oh man, that's so funny because you know, again, shout out to all like the Megan warriors out there, but she was definitely one of them, Megan Cuniff. So that reporter. Anyway, why is this here, please? Okay, overload. Yeah, 67. It says accessment, obligation, and overwhelm. And this is coming out with the many choices. So it's kind of, again, someone who may be or will be a little overwhelmed. Or I mentioned earlier about him not wanting to spread himself too thin. We see all this paperwork. It's going to be like, damn, like I have so many opportunities. So many people want to talk to me, interview me. They want to work with me now. When it was dead quiet for the last 5 years or so, right? Especially publicly. And that could be another reason why he's a little frustrated or will become a little frustrated or, you know, salty, because it's like, you know, y'all weren't with me shooting in the gym. You guys didn't speak up for me publicly. You didn't, none of that. So it's like, why are all y'all people, maybe again, artists, creatives, people in the background, why are y'all coming out of the woodwork trying to work with me, talk to me, do this, that, and the third, to the point where it's like, again, overwhelming, so many options and choices. Y'all weren't around or you didn't support me. So, you know, I kind of see that being a little frustrating for him possibly down the line. Understandable. Okay, why is this new beginning here, please? Relaxation. Okay, another card of relaxation is showing up at the bottom. Peace, tranquility, easiness. Yeah, interesting. Okay, but what fell out though was libation. Looks like somebody giving an offering, or yeah, donation, pray, and religion. So it's like he's literally like prayed for this new start, this new beginning, and that's exactly what he's getting, is kind of what it looks like. And I just see him, you know, again, I mentioned getting out in nature, like putting your feet in grass, or him hugging a tree. It's just giving like him appreciating nature and appreciating the things that maybe he took for granted for a very long time, you know? And I don't think he is going to take for granted his freedom ever again, you know. his riches, right? His fame, whatever it is. I don't think I'll ever take that for granted again, you know? Let me get one more on this new beginning, please. Libation. I just see him being like very grateful as well. Why is this here, please? Okay, perseverance. Yep. And you have alliance. So that's kind of about trust, companionship, honesty. Yep. And you have perseverance showing up. So challenge, endurement, and a resolution. So, and I think with his vibe here, again, a very God-fearing person, he feels like he wouldn't have been able to get through this or persevere without, again, being grateful or having gratitude or having an open relationship with God, right? Prayer, like a prayer warrior, essentially. So it's giving like that's the only reason why I'm even getting through this. That's the only reason why I'm even able to have a new beginning, because it's kind of by the grace of God, literally. You know, it's kind of how it's coming through. So we're gonna hop out of this deck, you guys. And look, readiness. As I'm about to put it away, like ready, preparation, prompt, ready, set, go, ready to come home. Okay, I'm gonna get maybe like 2 of these. What's the gossip? And then we'll get into the tarot, you guys. Okay, again, this is making any sense to you guys. You like this style of reading, definitely leave a like, share if you care. It really, really helps the video and helps the channel, and I appreciate you guys so, so much. But let's see, let's get a couple of these. Yeah, I see him like networking, or maybe just getting back involved with like the social media swing of things. He's got a really strong, good team, like a very loyal team behind him. I feel like a lot of his team is like family, but yeah, it's like whatever they're doing behind the scenes, it's like going to help his social status. Okay, why is this here, please? And I just heard something about his ego getting in the way. He could be, you know, trying to prep himself or tell himself, like, listen, don't let your ego get in the way. There's going to be a lot of people, again, that want to talk to you, interview you. There's going to be a lot of people that want to do this and that. Don't let your ego get in the way, because these people weren't around for years at a time. And again, that could incite frustration within him, but that's kind of just the ego talking, you know. I get it that he may be trying to balance his emotions and his ego, you know, his heart and his ego. Because ego will tell you, man, fuck these people. They weren't around. They didn't support me, none of that. But maybe like in your heart, it's telling you, you know what? This is a good artist to work with, though. You know, this would be a great person to build my network with. So there could be that bit of a struggle between ego and the heart for him at this time. Okay, why is here, please? For Tory, please, and thank you. Oh, energy here for Tory, please, and thank you. Crossroads is showing up. Okay, what is this? Important choices. Yep, life-changing decisions, it says. Choose wisely. Your next step matters. So yeah, he knows like a lot of eyes are going to be on him. He has to move very carefully. Again, we had one card that said wrong decision. This is talking about in life-changing decisions and important choices. So he knows it's like he's got to move very carefully, and like whatever choices he makes now, you know, he's not so much worried about it, you know, how people publicly may feel or anything like that. He's more so worried about how he steps when it comes to him and his relationship with God, I feel like, more than anything, you know. It's like, God is giving me another opportunity for this, that, and the third, and it's cleaning my slate. I have to choose wisely, you know. What is this? Breaking cycles. Yeah, it's like someone literally breaking free out of chains. Okay, it says ending harmful patterns, freedom from repetition, another energy of new beginnings. It stops with me. So again, like I get this vibe here, and then you have bounce back. Yeah, and I get this vibe from him where it's like, yes, I'm accountable, and I accept, or I, you know, again, I'm being accountable of whatever it is that I created, whatever it is that I said, whatever it is that I did. But I feel like there's this strong stance on, you know, I'm not going to take on or be accountable for something that I didn't do. That's what it is. You know, like that's the monkey wrench. Breaking cycles, again, like I said before, guys, there was this vibe here of him being very impulsive at one point, or being more of a hothead. Again, hot boy summer, lack of boundaries. Certain things start with us, what we accept, what we allow in our environment, all that, how we react to certain things. But again, I get accountability with all of that from him. But again, it's giving, I'm not going to take accountability for something that I did not do. So that's very important to him, is how it's coming through. Okay. Like, I can end my harmful patterns. I know what needs to change with me. But what we're not going to do is keep putting that shit on me when I didn't do this or do that. Okay. So let's continue. New beginnings. Yep. It starts with me. Okay. Gaslighted. And you have ascension here showing up. Okay, yeah, what is this? Reality distortion. Emotional manipulation is showing up. Questioning your sanity. You're imagining things. Oh, okay, I get it. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so he could feel like the media or certain specific entities, which we won't go into detail about right now, are trying to like gaslight people or even gaslight him to make him feel like, you know, you're never going to get out of the situation. You're never going to ascend. You know, there's no way you're going to get out of this and be better than you were. You know, this is the end of the road for you. You know, and it's like, also too, with the media, with the general public, making people feel or think like there is no way for him to grow or get out of this. He is just down and out like a broke dick dog, needs to be thrown under the jail, and that's it. Like, that's gaslighting, especially when there is some truth or merit that is not being talked about or that's being hidden beneath the surface, you know. So he probably could have even started to believe like, damn, like, you know, when you say, for example, like somebody lies so much they start to believe their own lies. Like, he probably was in there again in a situation like jail or prison. It's like, you may start to question your own sanity if you're not mentally strong. So it's like, damn, like, will I ever get the fuck out of here? Will I ever get this appeal? You know? Then it's like, I just heard, but God. That's literally how it came through, like, but God, right? Like, you could feel all these ways, or you know, and it's like, but God always comes through and shows you, like, nope, we got to change that mindset. Nope, just kidding. We are getting out of here. We are going to persevere through this. Your prayers are working. So yeah, there could be a lot of times where he was like, damn, again, am I ever going to get out of here? Maybe this appeal won't work. You know, maybe Megan Catnip was right, you know, but then again, but God comes through every time. Okay. So that's kind of how it's coming through. Questioning your own sanity. Yeah. Like, why is this here, please? Can we get more on this? Status upgrade. Look at this. Overnight success. You can't make this up. And then you have status upgrade here too. And then speak up. I'm telling you, he's got a lot to say. Expressing needs. Courage to confront. Your voice matters. But this is really nice. Overnight success. And then status upgrade. This is showing up underneath the new beginning card we just had. It says rapid rise, sudden recognition, unexpected breakthroughs, all eyes on me. And I already said that there's a lot of eyes on him, not just general public, you know, you, me, and Dupree, but executives, people in, I just heard something about a blackboard or a black room, people in the back black rooms, whatever the fuck that means, okay? And you see all this paparazzi. Again, all these people are going to want to see him, talk to him. It's going to be all over the news. Like, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's funny. And then you have this status upgrade. New achievements, improved social standing, lifestyle elevation, okay? Next level. So, yeah, this next season for him, it's going to hit like a damn train in a good way. It's kind of what it's giving. Okay, and then look, divine intervention, and again, status upgrade at the bottom. I told you those little those creeping doubts, that's just the devil working, okay? Making you feel like you're tripping and you're crazy, your prayers aren't working every time but God. Okay? Divine intervention, literally. Universe stepping in, redirected paths. That's really nice. And again, like, this is very almost counterintuitive to read because you wouldn't expect this energy from somebody who is, again, supposed to be spending the next 7 years of a 10-year prison sentence locked up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on a minute.